Get in! Welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. England have just beaten Bosnia-Herzegovina by 3-0, and this is the last word. And we are back. Can you believe it? We're at St James's Park, and we're not talking about a Newcastle match for the last word. We're talking about an England match. Lee's first men's England game, is that right?
It is. Is it yours?
My second or third, one of the two, I can't remember. I went to one game at Wembley 10 years ago now, but I think it might be my second game. But still, it was a different experience, wasn't it? But it's good. Look, let's be honest. It was a friendly. It had that friendly vibe to it. But first things first, Kieran Trippier, captaining England at St James's Park, taking his son out as mascot. Probably one of the proudest moments of his career, probably.
Yeah, considering he plays, yeah. Shame about Anthony Gordon. We've seen him at the end when the players went and done their lap of appreciation, but great for Trippier. Like, obviously, he's been talking in the pre-match press as well about the whole, the opportunity to do it, and obviously lead the country out. It doesn't matter where it is, whether it's a field, and there's a dog watching. It's still a proud moment, or it's in front of 50-odd thousand in St James's Park. Obviously, it's a little bit more special because he plays here, and this is where the club pays his wages, and his son, obviously, he's probably adopted Geordie now, been supporting his dad for the tune, so good for him.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic, let's be honest. I think every Newcastle and England fan would love to have that opportunity, and Kieran Trippier's managed to do that, so congratulations to him. In terms of England, quickly, Jordan Pickford and goal, got a mixed reception, but as the minutes went on, it was, very...
He got booed, let's be honest.
He got booed, but I think as the game went on, it was kind of, I think everyone kind of remembered it's England, not Newcastle.
And now there's going to be one or two people saying, "Oh, you shouldn't boo your England players," but I didn't, for the record. I didn't boo. I stayed neutral. Like the good old days, this.
Yeah, it is. I was the same. I didn't boo him. I didn't cheer him, but he's an England player, and you want him to do well when he plays for England. Look, if we get to another final and he has a penalty in the last minute, we'll be jumping up and down if he saves the penalty. So let's put our cards on the table there. But in terms of the first half, it was interesting because it was yeah, let's be honest, it was poor first half. I don't. Ezri Konsa at right back just doesn't fill me with much optimism. I have to be honest. I just felt he was so negative on the ball. The brighter players, I would say, probably Cole Palmer, Trent, Alexander-Arnold, and Ezri. He was one that you kind of pointed out as well throughout the game. They were probably the bright spots. What did you like about Ezri? Because I think he would shine in Newcastle.
It's a bit like Grealish, but you fast forward it. So if you're fast watching something, you'd be +2 on the fast forward button, because he just goes with pace, whereas Grealish likes to slowly attract a foul, whereas Ezri's just right, fuck it, I'm running at you, and it scares defenders. It does. We've got Anthony Gordon when we watch it at club football, so it scares defenders, and that's what I like about him. And he could be a wild card if Gareth Southgate picks him.
Yeah, certainly. I think he should be on the plane, in my opinion. Get your comments in. Would you like to see him in a Newcastle shirt? Because Sam and I spoke to Sir Les Ferdinand a few years ago. I think you spoke to Sir Les about the same thing.
I asked him the question about him, and he said, look, he's a talent, and I cheekily said, how much will it cost to get him? And I think Palace have obviously, we talked about in the match, Palace are unearthing a few England players at the minute, so they've got 4 in the books and 5 if you want to include Gallagher. It's like the good old days, Sirens and back at St James's Park, but talented lad, like.
Very much so, very, very much so. In terms of the best chance of the game, in terms of an England point of view, Ollie Watkins had a shot saved. Cole Palmer had a shot that went wide and a shot that went straight in the keeper's hands. But it was clutching its jaws when we were talking about real clear targets. In terms of Bosnia, their chances really came from our mistakes. Mark Gay, there was Dunk. That, again, they don't fill you with much confidence, I have to be honest. John Stones, Harry Maguire, I know Harry Maguire's got his critics, but you can see why that they're kind of in front of them as well, which is probably another question. Jared Branthwaite didn't look out of place when he came on either, but we'll mention the second half in a second. But he just needed something in that second half, didn't we? We needed something. We just needed something galvanised. The second half was better, especially particularly the first 10-15 minutes. I don't know if it just went into third, fourth gear, didn't they? They just went from first to second to kind of go, all right, let's go to third and fourth. Won a few corners, and it was from a corner where England won a penalty with a VAR check. Who knew what VAR would be?
I didn't know it was the other night for a friendly.
I think. Can I remember that?
Something I've learned the night.
Was there a VAR check? I think maybe England, Belgium. I can't remember massively, but. Kieran Trippier had the ball in his hands, but he does that whole trick and he gets it at Cole Palmer. It was just, I think that the reason the penalty was given was just grabbing and bringing him down. And if it's a penalty, fair enough. And I suppose it's nice to see him take it very, very serious with the VAR as well. But Cole Palmer doesn't miss penalties for England, and he put it right in the bottom right-hand corner of the Gallagher, and it was 1-0 England.
And it's definitely not cold tonight, put it that way. It's definitely not, but yeah, 1-0, and obviously all the substitutions. I think, as I said to you off camera, the forward line was an upgrade. Was as normally when you're watching like a pre-season friendly, not England, club football, whatever, naturally when subs happen, it slows the game down, and probably weaker players come on, but the forward line was stronger. England went the other way, and it clearly showed.
Yeah, and England go 1-0 up, and that was the last we saw of Kieran Trippier from a Newcastle United perspective. He got a fantastic reception as he came off. It was only Harry Kane coming on, James Maddison, Jack Grealish, Adam Wharton came on as well. I thought he was really bright as well, Adam Wharton.
He was neat and tidy, wasn't he?
Neat and tidy. Now, do you know what? I'd probably put him on the plane, in my opinion.
Would you?
I would. I just think he's very neat and tidy, and we don't really have too many defensive midfielders. You know, Declan Rice gets injured. I'm not saying Adam Wharton's going to go straight in, but he's an option, and he seems very, very calm. I know it's one game, it's against Bosnia, who aren't the greatest of tests for him, but I think when you look at the players around him, I think I think it's worth a punt, if I'm honest, in this tournament. So he would be in my squad. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments. But in terms of can England get a couple more, I said to you before the game, I think England should win this 3 or 4-0. And they did end up winning 3-0, but Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think, was probably my man of the match today. I felt he was always involved in the game, particularly first half, where he was obviously getting involved in a lot of passes, and he seemed to be the one that wanted to create things. But it's a great finish. It's almost like a Trent Alexander-Arnold typical goal, really, with that long ball and on the volley, bottom corner.
Who was it, Harry Kane?
I think it was Harry Kane with the assist, and it was a fantastic goal, probably the goal of the night.
Yeah, it's a fantastic assist, and it's a very tight angle. We captured it, so keep an eye on the vlog. Captured it, and obviously he hits it low, and I don't know whether the goalkeeper should save or not. We haven't got the benefit of the replays yet, but fantastic finish, and he was bright. I mean, even in the first half, he was looking up, trying to ping a ball, because obviously he's playing in midfield for a reason. Southgate wants to look at it, because is there many midfielders that can do it? Probably not. The best passer on the field is your centre forward, in my opinion, Harry Kane. I said to you off camera, if you put him in centre midfield, he's world class still. Yeah. But obviously you take away that threat up front, don't you? But 2-0, game over. Yeah, game over, definitely at 2-0. But England had a little bit more room for one more, and it was Harry Kane. Obviously, he had an injury when it picked up against Bayern, when he's at Bayern Munich, of course. So this is his first game back, really, since the end of the season. And it was I wouldn't call it a Harry Kane goal. It was very scruffy. Ping pong, wasn't it?
Ping pong, and somehow he just managed to put, just literally got a foot over the line, I suppose, and it didn't even hit the net. The keeper just kind of had it behind his line. But 3-0, Harry Kane scores another goal for England. He's in the 60s, which is incredible for a player that, you know, got written off really 10, 11 years ago, and he's just taking his chance. And he's, like I say, he's so important to England. And you know, England have hopefully got 7 games if they get to the final of the Euros. He has to play at least 6 of them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he's one of the few world-class players that we do have, and I'm talking elite, right at the very top. I'm not talking just maybe underneath a Declan Rice or what have you, and that kind of calibre, but Harry Kane is elite. He's right. He's at the top. Bayern Munich came calling for a reason. Yes, he hasn't won now. That's not his fault. Look at his ratio of goals this season. He's broken the records. He's broken Lewandowski's records, and I think he might have broken Muller's record as well. So got to keep him fit, and you can rest him if the game's already won. You're 3-0 up and there's 20 minutes to go. You can bring on a Tony or a Watkins, or if we're already through by the 3rd game, don't play him. Keep him fresh. Keep him fresh. It finished England 3, Bosnia 0. Just the final word, Lee, just on St James's Park in all its glory for an England game. The last time England played, I think they won 2 England games, isn't it? 2 England games. Yeah, actually, well, that's a fair reflection. What have you made of Friday and tonight? The question I asked you before the men's team kicked off tonight was kind of, because you've always kind of been a bit on the fence with England. You want them to win, but you're not devastated if they lose. I'm not. I think it's good for the North East. We've been crying out for England games for years. I mean, it's since we beat Ukraine 3-0 when Sean Wright-Phillips scored. It was absolutely chucking it down. Would you like to see them play again soon? I think they should do it on the road. Yeah. I don't like Wembley. If they play at Old Trafford next week, they play at Ellen Road, not next week, the next game, and they move around the country because it gives local fans. This is my first England game. If England weren't here and playing somewhere else, I wouldn't have gone. I broke my duck. It's my first Lionesses, my first men's as well that night. I wouldn't be able to see them because I'm not like an avid England fan, and if England want me to be an avid fan, they need to show up at these locations, Stadium of Light, Middlesbrough, Leeds, and whatever around England rather. So they can gain fans, especially young lads. Me and Dale talked about the other night with young lasses. A lot of them young kids go the night, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds will become England fans because they've been the other night, and that's the win.
We've seen 93,000 England fans over the last 2 games, with the game on Friday and the game tonight. So it shows an appetite. There is an appetite for England games up in the north. But
I do want to touch upon the atmosphere. It's not quite the same.
It's not. It's a family feel. It's a bit like because it's a friend. I think you said it in the game. If it was, say, a qualifying game, even though obviously England are expected to win qualifying games, because it's a qualifying game, it has that added extra motivation, and you're going to play your big players.
Now, when we watch it on TV, you're like, ugh. But now we've been there, and it's still the same, isn't it? It's like
the first half was.
Yeah, the atmosphere. It's still not your bread and butter Premier League, and I also think, looking at the night, the pace is a little bit slower than the Premier League, and they tell the players have got a lot more time on the ball. And that showed tonight, but it's interesting. I learned a lot tonight.
Finally, do England win the Euros?
No. France will.
There he is. He's
do you want me to lie and say yes?
Yes.
No, can I? I always say France because I think France are so good at producing players.
I'll rephrase the question then. Is this England's best chance to win a tournament under Gareth Southgate in your lifetime?
No, I think the Italy final should have been, because I think Benucci was very clever pulling Saka back, or Saka's through for me. But look, they'll go far. They'll be one of the favourites. I expect England to be at least quarter-finals, semi-finals. They've got to be. I think this is Southgate's last tournament, regardless. I think we will see a new manager. I'm
going to say England actually going to win this thing. I think if they can get past France...
Clip that up.
If England get past France, because if England and France finish top of the group, they meet in the semi-finals as long as they get through their respective rounds. If England can get past France, I think they'll do it. I think they will. I think they've got two.
France are so fortunate because they've got like the next generation of African players that come and move to France, and they grow up. And look at their squad. Yeah. Look at their squad. Hardly any of them are French. Grew up in France, yes, and got parents and grandparents that are from the likes of Africa and stuff, and they've got talent galore. Yeah, they're gonna win it.
I think England's. Let us know in the comments if you think England with the likes of Bellingham, Foden,
do you want
Kane.
An outsider? An outside bet, Holland.
Holland is Lee's outside bet. My outside bet, Croatia, 40-1. You never know. You never know with Croatia and Luka Modric and his 55,000 tournament. But yeah, we'll wrap.
And Rakitic. How many haven't he played?
Exactly. But yeah, we're going to wrap things up here. It's been a fun look. In all honesty, it's been a really nice night tonight. It's been a pleasant night. England have won by 3-0. They've got one more game before they go to the Euros. We wish Gareth Southgate and all the players all the very, very best luck, including Anthony Gordon.
We will do some England videos. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but we will be doing some. But most of the stuff will be on NUFC, of course.
Of course. Anthony Gordon, Kieran Trippier will bring it home. They will bring it home for England. But yeah, this is it. We're going to be...
the vlog?
Yeah, the vlog will be out. We've got loads of videos coming in between now and before pre-season starts. 10 weeks on Saturday, the Premier League starts. Maybe 10 weeks on Friday, there's a Friday night game. It won't be long, I'll tell you that for a fact. But yeah, from a very pleasant evening here at St James's Park, from me and Lee, we'll see you all very soon.